Well, this scenario is a scenario where you have many things happening and a lot of change happening, both from the technology side and from the society side. So it's not only that you have new technologies that very quickly are coming to the market, like cheaper renewables, ways of storing energy, ways of optimizing the consumption of consumers, etc. But also that the consumer is very proactive and that society is very proactive, and therefore there's a lot of need for carbon reduction. There's a strong regulatory pressure, on the companies. But at the same time that you have this change in society, this change in technology, there's also a very chaotic world, in terms of regulation, politics. So it's not that there is one clear mind, that has a very clear plan on how we're going to evolve and how we're going to adapt, to those changes. I think Germany is being very innovative in some things. So, the adoption of renewables, for example, has been something really spectacular in Germany, and the high penetration that you're seeing in terms of wind, of solar. At the same time, in some of the technologies, and it's a bit strange, Germany is more reluctant and it's very conservative. So, for example, smart meters is something that is being pushed across Europe, and you have countries where 100% of consumers are already connected to smart meters, and Germany is not pushing that. It's very conservative on that side. This is why I was saying that Germany is a bit chaotic in the way they are adapting to change. So they are pushing things, very fast, and other things are happening a bit slower. It's difficult to say yes or no to that question. It depends a little bit. To me, what is most plausible is scenarios where you have a little bit of a revolution. People who believe that energy at the end of the day is going to be about nuclear, coal, and gas, as it's always been. I don't think that is really something realistic, looking forward. To me, the question about the scenarios is more if we're going to, as I was saying before, really a consensus type of scenario with a long-term planning, which, by the way, it's the one I believe would be best, less costly and less risky for society. Or if we're going to continue seeing this kind of short-term thinking, progressive approach, a bit chaotic process, we will be moving in the same direction, but with a bit more suffering and a bit more cost for society. But frankly, it's so difficult to create consensus around energy that the second scenario is more likely in my way. So I would say out of the four scenarios that are described in the study, the disruptive scenario is a scenario that to me is the most likely one. It's not necessarily the most desirable one.